Every time the Pope goes into hospital, it's always a health scare, but fortunately this time it was just a visit for some checks. Now, he's been suffering from on and off bronchitis, a lung inflammation, a cough. So one would suspect, although the Vatican didn't say exactly what tests he underwent. That said, we don't know exactly what kind of tests were done this morning at the Isola Tiberina Hospital, which is now part of the larger Gemelli group. If the Pope's condition were serious, he would not have been taken to this hospital for tests. He would have been taken directly to the larger Gemelli Hospital, which is a few miles from here, and it is equipped with an entire suite on the 10th floor that is just reserved for popes. So I think we can rest easy for the time being, at least, that this is not a serious health scare, particularly because of the choice of the hospital that his doctors sent him to. We should keep in mind that the Pope is now 87. He's obviously, as one gets older, is more susceptible to all kinds of maladies like colds and flus and bronchitis, etc. But he's particularly susceptible because as a young man in his native Argentina more than 60 years ago, one part of one of his lungs was removed. But it shows in the past couple of days that he has canceled audiences. He has tried to conserve his strength today at today's Wednesday general audience. He did not read all of his prepared address, but he did go. He did want to be seen by the people.
He's a very gentle man, and yes, I respect him very much.
Of everything in Gaza. It's difficult, during the past couple of months to be able to have any contact with them. But Moscow is hosting, a meeting of the Palestinian factions. We hope that there, we might hear good results in terms of mutual understanding, between all factions about the need to support such technocratic government that will emerge shortly if the conditions are right and if the Israeli side will provide that collaboration that is really expected from them.
Okay, I don't know why are we not coming back to here?
Of war, in ways that attacking hospitals. We are waiting to see what will come from Moscow. Of course, we don't expect miracles to happen in just simple meeting in Moscow, but I believe that the meeting in Moscow should be followed by other meetings, in the region soon, in order to continue with such collective efforts among all the Palestinian factions for the sake of Palestinian unity, for the sake of the Palestinian people, and how to be able together to confront the challenges that we do face as Palestinian people.
Okay, I see a bunch of questions over here. All right, we're going to start with...
Good afternoon, everyone.
Did the president take a mental fitness or cognitive test during his physical this morning?
So let me just say I did see Dr. O'Connor, and he stopped by my office earlier today after the president completed his physical this morning, as you all know. He was happy with how everything went. As it relates to, you were asking me about a cognitive test. As it relates to that, look, the president doesn't need a cognitive test. That is not my assessment. That is not my assessment. That is the assessment of the president's doctor. That is also the assessment of the neurologist, who has also made that assessment as well. He passes a cognitive test every day, as he moves from one topic to another topic, understanding the granular level of these topics.
Why is the president or your office not willing to make Dr. O'Connor available to us? Just answer questions here. Previous presidents have put their doctors up at that lectern. Why not?
So a couple of things, Andrew, and the president said that they thought he was too young. So, you heard from the president, he talked about this. What Dr. O'Connor has done is he has put forward over the last 2 years a comprehensive, robust memo, as you just stated, that is sent to me, and then obviously we disseminate it to all of you, that lays out in parts of the president's physical. And I think that's important. It is robust and it is comprehensive. You will see from the doctor himself, and in a couple of hours, we will certainly make this robust, comprehensive memo, as we have done the last 2 years, available to all of you. And the reason I said I'm not a doctor is because his own doctor, his personal doctor, as well as the neurologist, has said that we don't need to have a cognitive test. And so, look, the doctor has also said that, look, he is a professional here. He doesn't want to make this about politics. He wants to make this about the work. He wants to make this about making sure that we put forward to you, he puts forward to all of you, a robust, comprehensive memo. And that is what we're going to do. We did it the last 2 years, and we're going to do it again. All right, everybody. See you on Friday. Thank you.
оживленное движение.
Прохожий, ну да, да, голова, которая идет внизу кадра. Это оживленное движение.
Сентября 2015 летчики и авиаспециалисты, награжденные медалями за службу Родине, за боевые заслуги, знаменщика лейтенанты Дмитрий Гончарук и Тимур Изварин. В одном строю награжденные медалями за боевые заслуги подполковник Александр Снигов. По площади проходит колонна бронетранспортеров. Они способны преодолевать любые вод.
Yeah. All right.